Hello and welcome. Today we're diving into a really provocative theory, one that claims all the recent military and diplomatic chatter in the Red Sea isn't just noise. According to this viewpoint, we might be looking at the final moments before a major war kicks off. So we're going to unpack the claims and see exactly how this argument is built. So the whole theory we're looking at today really boils down to this one single question. When you see US and Israeli forces running drills together, is that just business as usual? Or is it something more, like a final dress rehearsal before the curtain goes up on a real attack? This question right here is the key to the whole thing. All right, so where does all this even begin? Well, the theory points to a very specific event, those recent military exercises in the Red Sea. According to the source we're examining, this was no ordinary practice run. No, this was the spark, the one that could light up a massive conflict. Let's dig into what actually happened. Okay, so the basic facts are pretty straightforward. The US and Israel held joint naval exercises. Simple enough. But it's the interpretation here that really drives this theory. The source puts a huge emphasis on the location, calling it near Iran's gate. And from that, it draws a pretty dramatic conclusion. This was all about preparing for a direct, coordinated attack on Iran. But this theory isn't just about ships and drills. It also claims that what we're seeing in public, all the diplomatic talks and negotiations, is basically a show, a performance put on to distract everyone from what's really being planned behind the scenes. And the source, well, it doesn't mince words. There's no gray area here. It flat out says that these diplomatic efforts aren't just failing, they are a complete and total deception. The exact word used is fraud, designed to make everyone think peace is an option, right before a strike. So what you end up with are two completely different stories running at the same time. On one side, you've got the official line. We're talking, we're trying to de-escalate, but the source we're looking at says, nope, it's a smokescreen. And to back this up, it points to history, claiming a similar thing happened under the Trump administration, a period of calm talks right before an attack. From there, the theory zooms out to look at the whole region. The argument is that the key players here aren't just sitting back and watching. No, they are all actively getting ready for what the source ominously calls the last fight. Now, if we look at Iran through the lens of this source, you see a country that's kind of caught in a bind. On the one hand, its military is supposedly on the highest alert it has ever been, but at the same time, its economy is under massive pressure at home. And the belief, according to this theory, is that the US would never ever sign a deal that actually lets Iran's economy get back on its feet. And this state of readiness, the source claims, is basically at maximum across the board. It's not just Iran. The theory says Hezbollah is 100% ready to hit Israel, and that even the Israeli public is getting prepared, citing reports of people emptying out supermarkets. So the picture being painted here is of an entire region just holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. Okay, so the next chapter in this theory takes us beyond the Middle East and onto the global stage. The argument is that this isn't just a regional fight anymore. It's actually a proxy war between global superpowers, and the lines have been drawn very, very clearly. So the source basically divides the world into two teams for this conflict. You've got the Western Bloc, the United States, Israel, and a NATO that's being pressured to join in. And on the other side, you've got the Eastern Bloc, Iran, but with the massive backing of both China and Russia. And right here, the theory makes a really critical comparison to the war in Ukraine. The whole argument is that, just like Russia's allies have stepped in to support it, China and Russia have now made a guarantee that Iran will not be defeated. In this view, they simply won't let it fall. So how did this alliance get so rock solid? Well, the source claims there was a very specific quid pro quo, a real tit-for-tat exchange. It says Iran gave Russia missiles, and in return, Russia gave Iran technology that could block Starlink. The theory goes on to claim that this tech was the key to stopping internal protests, basically saving the regime, and that it was Russia's way of repaying a major debt. And now we get to the most dramatic, and you could say speculative part of this whole narrative. It moves past troop movements, past diplomacy, and suggests that this conflict could unleash something totally new, a secret weapon that might just rewrite the rules of war. According to the source, what the US is really afraid of isn't just Iran's current weapons. The deeper fear is that China sees this as a perfect opportunity, a chance to use Iran as a proxy to test its most advanced, top-secret military tech in a live-fire situation against American systems. It's the ultimate field test. And this all builds to the theory's climax. The source puts forward this absolutely stunning quote, attributing it to Iran, a claim that they will use a weapon so revolutionary that humanity has not seen before. I mean, that's a statement that suggests a complete change in how warfare is even fought. And that really brings us to the final question, doesn't it? Is this story of secret weapons and global alliances just a series of bold threats? Or is it a real sign that the global battlefield is about to change in a way we can't even imagine? The source has laid out its case, and if any of it is right, the world could be on the edge of a truly terrifying transformation.